Yo, yo, microphone check. MOP, microphone check. MOP. What's good, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the MOP podcast. I'm here with Trudy King. Um, he's today's guest, so I'm very thankful for him to be here. I really appreciate you being here, brother.
Likewise, man. Appreciate you having me on.
So I'm here with Trudy King. Go subscribe to his channel. I gotta give you your flowers in that part at the beginning. That I really like that you have a women on your panel. That shit is cool.
Yeah, hey, listen, I have all different types of people, man. Don't race, gender, whatever case may be. If you talk about sports, hey, you're more welcome.
Cool. That's the deal. That's the deal. But it's very rare to see like a women on this type of debates or shows, in the YouTube streets. But I gotta give you your flowers, man. So go check True the King TV is your
Yeah,
channel, right?
definitely.
True the King TV.
Yeah. True. Hey, without no E. True is TRU
Oh god damn,
DA.
my fault. My bad. God
Yeah,
damn.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. People, it's not. Listen, you ain't the only one that made that mistake. That's fine. But T
Let,
R U
let
D A K King
like that?
TV.
Like that?
Yes, you type yes right there. Yup,
My
just
bad,
like
bro. My
that.
bad. So
No,
go
you
check
good. You
his
good.
channel. Go check his channel. He's here with us today. We're gonna be talking a lot about basketball. So let's go right into it, man. Once again, thanks you for being here. Thanks to everybody that's gonna be watching us live and everybody that will be watching us later when this live stream has been ended. So let's go from the start. We were talking about the FIBA tournament, Team USA, Canada, and a lot of different players that have been playing great during this FIBA tournament. What do you think about like superstars or elite players not committing or not playing for their teams in this FIBA World Cup, such as like Jokic, Murray, Giannis? He's been dealing with a post surgery on his left knee. What do you think about players of that caliber not playing for their teams?
Basically, piggybacking to what you said about Giannis is like injuries. I mean, sometimes man, it's tough, man. You asking like for Jamal Murray and Jokic, they just came off a finals run. So, and mind you, committing yourself to play FIBA basketball in the summertime, then after this over with, you know what I mean. You gotta prepare for the regular season. That's kind of tough, you know what I mean. So I don't mind those type of players that play like to get rest and stuff like that, because you know what I mean. That's not easy to do. Because it's a lot of people that even from the USA team, like Jason Tatum and stuff like that. They guys that they could have played if they wanted to, but I
Like
mean,
Trey Young.
Well, Trey Young, he felt he got snubbed though. So I mean, he
Yeah,
tried.
yeah.
So I mean, I mean,
It's like some bad blood right there, right?
shout out to her, man. I see you, Herb. Shout out to her, man. Nicholas
Her.
Brown, I
Hey,
see
I'm,
you
I'm,
all,
go,
man.
I'm gonna drop the link, bro. So you can continue, bro. My bad. I'm gonna drop the link. If anyone wants to come in, it's more than welcome, man. There you go. There you go. That's the link. Shout out to Nicholas Brown. He was there. He left a comment at the before we went live. Shout out to Herm.
Nicholas
Shout
Brown,
out
my
shout out to
guy,
Herm.
man. Nicholas Brown, Herm, they my people, man. Like Nicholas Brown, like listen, before he the first person to chat on my streams every I'm almost 90% of the time. First one to say something in the chat. So appreciate Nicholas Brown. Appreciate you, Herm, too, man.
I saw Herm on debating. He was in the finals.
Yeah.
On the debates on Mugi show. It says, "Bet, give me 10 minutes. I'll jump soon." What's good, Herm? Thanks for showing love, man. Brandon, yo, what's good, Brandon? I'm here, man, with True the King. I'm going live on my channel. Usually, like as I was telling True the King, I usually do my content in Spanish, but I know a little bit of English, so that allows me to chop it up with great people, man. Especially if it's you and different people that are especially from the U.S. Brandon, go Celtics! Wow, I'm obviously you, True the King, you are a fan of the
Yeah.
Celtics, right?
I am a Celtics fan. Yes, I am a Celtics fan. Go C's. So,
Yeah. But going back to the topic, I am agree with you, man. Especially Jokic, Murray, they coming back from a long run, getting the chip. Giannis is coming back from an injury. Luka is playing. He's representing. Luka always want to play, and obviously the Team USA is doing their thing. What has been the biggest surprise for you in Team USA? To me, it's like the fact that Steve Kerr is putting Banchero as a backup center. I really like Banchero, man. And I think he has very high hopes in the NBA. What was been your take from the Team USA?
Yeah, Paulo. Listen, I think if I did forget his name, Paulo been balling too. Paulo definitely has a lot of upside, man. Being a superstar in basketball in general. I wish it was crazy. I didn't think he was going to play for Team USA. I thought he was going to play for Italy.
Yeah.
I know they pissed. I know they mad when he declared for USA. But hey, I take it. You know what I mean? Listen, let's say come aboard. So the fact that he playing a backup 5 role, he gives the USA versatility and mismatches for other guys. You just can't just put anybody on him. You put a big guy on him that's too slow. Paulo's too quick for them, and then if you put a guy too small, Paulo's also too big. So the fact that he's 6'10", 240, 250, scoring on all 3 levels like that, I mean, yes, he's a very exciting player to watch.
Yeah, and you got Halliburton, you got a lot of young players. Do you think that in some type of way that's necessary to start building something like with a unit with Austin Reeves, with the young players, with Anthony Edwards, who has been playing at a high level too? Do you think that is like so? Obviously, the fact that you have a great talent pool with the US, always having the best players in the world. Do you think that maybe it is time now, the perfect time to like start building around the young players and building around that type of players instead of bringing obviously AD, LeBron, Curry, and players,
right? And I think USA always try to do that, right? Especially when it comes to the FIBA. So,
yep.
hey, so my man Chris, man. When it comes to
salute.
When it comes to the I think people do that when it comes to like the FIBA game, where it's like when Olympics, the big dogs come play in the Olympics per se, and then the FIBA, you got the young guys come in and eventually they will play the Olympics. So I think that's it's a good strategy for Team USA to do, because like I say, guys can't play forever. You know what I mean? It's hard. I mean, well, you may see some teams. Well, the thing is though, some countries do it too. Like Scola, he just retired. He was playing for Argentina for years.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, but that's the thing about Team USA. When you got so much talent, you know what I mean, you're not so much dependable on a guy like maybe a LeBron or Curry. You know what I mean? Bring that goal back. So
yeah,
at
man.
the same time too.
They got great. Michael Bridges, I forgot about him. He's playing in Brooklyn with Cam Johnson. So they got such a great young talent. And I think undoubtedly they are gonna win the medal, right? The gold medal.
Yeah.
Who's the biggest threat in this tournament for Team USA? Canada?
I may have to say Canada may be the toughest. If I'm missing a team, I think Canada, because they're well rounded when it comes to their positions. I think when it comes to other teams, I think they may have some teams may have guard play, but they may lack in other efforts with the bigs or the front court or vice versa for other teams. USA is well rounded, and I think Canada is well rounded too in a certain degree. So they're tough. So
yep, we'll see. I think one of these days, the second group stage ends. So we'll be watching the quarterfinals, semifinals, and obviously the finals. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's watching us. So obviously we talked about the FIBA tournament. Now let's go right into the NBA, man. Let's go from your Celtics. Let's talk about your Celtics, man. They've been getting close. They get very close when they lost against the Warriors in 2022. But one thing that I always bring up is the fact that Boston, one of the greatest franchise in NBA history with the Lakers, it's crazy to me that they only have one championship in the last 37 years, right?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, it's a lot of things happen. You know what I mean? When it comes to that drought, unfortunate things happen. Shout out to Herm. I see
Shout out
you.
to her.
Well,
Like
salute to y'all,
when
man. Salute.
after that '80s era, after the '80s for the Celtics, I mean, the Celtics, I mean, like before, it was like it was a long struggle. Len Bias, RP Len Bias, he passed
Yeah.
away. Reggie Lewis passed away. That really affected the Celtics a lot. Being they struggled in the '90s and then going to the '90s, early 2000s. What a lot of people don't talk about, I think people forget we had Chauncey Billups and Joe Johnson. And I think they gave up on those guys too soon. And struggle. But hey, fortunately, we got the one in '08, and now we try to get back and try to make another dynasty. So, things happen, but hey, it is what it is.
Yep. And Herm, are you there, bro?
Oh yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. I know I got a little noise in my background. That's why I was kind of mute. But salute to you, NBA Latrina, man. I always listen to you, my brother. You
Thank you
cooking.
for being here, man.
Man, I know you be cooking a lot. I know Ticket talked about you a lot when I talked to him behind the scenes. So that's why I started checking you out, and I know you know the game. You know a lot of it in Espanol, which is true. But I tell guys, other guys, you don't have to know Spanish to follow it. Just on translator after the fact. You know what I'm saying, and try to get an understanding where you coming from with it. Cause that's what I do sometimes. And you really know the game. You keep doing your thing, brother, and keep grinding. True, that's my brother. True, man. Hey, this is the big deal that you collaborated with him, because this guy right here, he knows the game. You know, so but this gonna be a good show, man. I'm looking forward to listening to y'all break down the NBA. I'm gonna elaborate a little bit, but man, I'm gonna enjoy listening to y'all this show.
Cool, man. Thanks. You can jump in whenever you
Appreciate it,
want, man.
Herb.
I appreciate it, bro.
Herb beat me in the debate. Herb beat me in the debate, man. Herb beat me in the debate. I don't know
Damn.
if you caught that. He beat me in the debate. Shout out to FWF, shout out to Lamont. You know what I mean? That was a big, you know what I mean? So he beat me low key, beat me in the debate, man. Shout out to Herb. Listen, man, Herb knows his stuff, man.
Yeah, facts, and I like your attitude, bro. I was watching your stream, and you said that even when you lose, you win, right? that was cool.
Hey, listen,
that was a bar,
hey,
bro.
listen, man. Listen, cause like Herm, cause like I want the reason, and going back to that, like me and my debate with Herm. Reason why I wanted to debate with Herm, cause I think people slept on Herm when he's coming to his knowledge of the game. And like, if you didn't know, cause I think Herm be trolling, Herm be trolling. But like, I think people sleep on that, and I think he overshadow his knowledge of the game. And I was like, you know what? I wanted to debate Herm. You know what I mean? So it's like it was.
And
You
I
know what I mean?
appreciate that. I appreciate that, true, because a lot of people do know. Like, we know Hearn playing around. We know he actually knows the
Right.
games. We need him to stop playing sometimes. So you did bring light to it, and I truly appreciate it, for real, brother. I appreciate it.
That's it. As that's something that I would also like to bring to the Latin community. You know, the debates and shit that doesn't happen, but that
Right. I
doesn't happen
heard you
in our
talk about that
community.
with SB. Yeah, I heard you talk about with
Yeah,
SB.
man.
That's dope, yo.
I need to bring that shit up, man, to do some debate, and that helps, so when people watch the debates, they learn different points. When they debate Magic versus Curry, they know arguments for both sides, and that's something that I try to do. Maybe not saying, oh, who's better, who's worse, who I'm bigging up, who I'm trying to put down. It's like giving arguments, but for both sides. It's great. It's great what you are building, bro. You're obviously at a different level when we talk about basketball community. When we talk about here in South America, it's very limited, but we're trying to build it up. But it's cool. I really learned a lot about from you guys debating, and obviously the way that y'all break the game too. So the Celtics, man. Let's finish up with the Celtics. Do you think that Porzingis, obviously he's been dealing up with some type of injury, plantar fasciitis and some shit? I don't know.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing with his national team too. Do you think that the fact that obviously he's a presence in the post game, but the Celtics like to shoot a lot of the three ball. They like to shoot the long ball. How do you think that Porzingis is gonna fit up in that system?
I think I think he fits perfectly with his skill set, right? I mean,
Yep.
the fact that the Celtics do like to shoot the 3-ball a lot, which he can't do, but also he gives something that the Celtics need an inside presence and scoring. Attacking certain mismatches, being a guy that's 7'3", that can, face up, that can post up and stuff like that. Interior scorer per se. It helps a lot. I mean, and when it comes to the injury, and listen, that's Porzingis, right? That's something that he's been plagued with his whole career, right? He being injury prone. So listen, that is a worry. But I mean, he played 62, 63 something game last year. Had arguably his career season. And which is good to see. He's still in his late 20s, so I'm very excited for Porzingis joining the Celtics.
Yeah, man. Do you think that maybe they lost some toughness? Obviously, they lost Marcus Smart, who was a tough and grind player. He was the defensive player of the year like 2 years ago. And you also lost Grant Williams, who was the only one who like went against Jimmy Butler. You know, when Jimmy was fucking cooking with Crisco, bro, the only one who like quote unquote step up was Grant Williams. He ended up being cooked too, but you know he showed up in that term. Do you think that maybe the fact that Porzingis sometimes is always being questioned like a soft player, sometimes that label is put up on Tatum too? Sometimes people say that Jaylen Brown is the more aggressive guy and he's like more of the the leader in the offense sometimes. But what do you think about that part of the Celtics, that maybe you lose some toughness?
I don't think like somebody Porzingis. I like to say going back. I think Porzingis is just injury prone. I don't think he's soft. I think he's injury prone. When you 7'3" like that, sometimes you see bigs get injured like that all the time. It just is what it is. Now when it comes to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and then the missing of Marcus Smart. Listen, Marcus Smart, one of my favorite basketball players of all time, especially when it comes to the Celtics. It's tough to see him go. Definitely was very tough, but at the same time, with his stuff he did uniquely as a player. I mean, you can't just replace a Marcus Smart, right? But with that being said, and Brad Stevens, he did an interview. He talked about it. Well, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown going to ask to be more vocal, be more leaders now, right? The fact of you don't market. And then there was all still leaders, but at the same time now. You have to be more vocal, be more present. You know, per se. Not saying it wasn't before, because they've gotten better over the years from their rookie years to now. And that being said, like hopefully, like I said, they can get that leadership up and bring that toughness there. And then bringing in terms about the defense, too. I mean, Marcus Smart, like him, he missed a significant amount of games last year, and Derek White was all defensive second team. So you got a guy that can steadily is getting better, improving, going to, try not necessarily be Marcus Smart, but I mean, hey, that's a big thing. You know what I mean? So
Oh, True. I gotta ask you this though, True. Do you think that the Celtics kind of should not have went all in with the duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, or do you think they had no choice but to go that route?
I mean, you have to still give it a chance because they're still young. Now, I'm not saying that it'd be a different story, right, Herm, if they've been playing for like 10 years, you know what I mean? If they in their 30s, then okay, now we have to talk about something, you know what I mean? These guys ain't hit their prime yet. I want to see these guys. They've been getting better every year, you know what I mean? I think the window is they have a 3-year window at max for this to work, to figure it out. And I think that's enough time, you know what I mean? They're not in their primes yet. They're not in you know what I mean? They ain't dealing with a lot of injuries, you know what I mean? So let's see how it works and how it do.
That's one of the things that I always like to highlight about in one of, obviously I root for Denver, that Jokic plays a lot, but when you talk about the top 10, say Jason Tatum doesn't come up like when we talk about players that are durable, right? It's like Jason Tatum rarely misses a game, when you got a lot of players in the top 10 arguably that misses a lot of games. But that's one thing that I always gotta give Jason Tatum, that he doesn't miss games a lot.
He definitely, listen, people like he played since he's been in the league. He played more minutes than anybody in the NBA.
I
So it's
got
like,
him. I got
we
Jason
talk.
Tatum. Yeah, I got Jason Tatum in the top 10 for sure. In
Yeah,
today's NBA,
yeah,
he's top 10 for sure. It's just that with him,
yeah,
I think Boston got to put him in better. I think the coaching staff got to put him in a better situation to the point where that he doesn't have to take on the responsibility as far as playmaking and scoring, and then playing high level defense. I think when they put him in the position that he has to play make, I think it hinders Boston. You need Jason Tatum to be aggressive at all times. So I think Boston got to find a way for Jason Tatum to always be aggressive offensively and always look for his shot instead of trying to create. That's why I think Boston messes up at times, because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum honestly do be the guys that try to create and get others involved. And I think sometimes that hinders those guys, because when they aggressive, it's hard to beat Boston when you got two
right.
aggressive guys like Tatum and Brown. So
Yeah,
the coaching staff got to figure out a way to keep those guys aggressive at all times.
right. I think in the piggyback of that, I do think they need to be more aggressive. And I think like added and speaking of that too, which I think that you're going to see more of that being more used correctly and differently. Um, Adding the assistant coaches of Sam Cassell and head assistant Charles Lee, that's definitely going to help them develop their games and stuff like that. I mean, Jason, because Jason can create though, but it's like he got to be put in more spots where he can do that effectively. You know what I mean? Like I don't like take less threes and drive or post up. You know what I mean? Because they listen. Jason Tatum is he 6'8", 6'9", 6'10"? I don't know. He a big dude. Guy like that. If you put him on the wing, you gotta help. So I'd rather him do that, be in positions like that, than just taking a 3-point shot. You know what I mean? Per se at times.
Yeah,
Not saying
I
he
don't
can't
want.
take it or Jaylen Brown. You get what I'm saying? Not saying Jaylen
Yeah,
Brown. I would like them guys see maybe at least 4 to 5 threes at max a game, right? But I mean, if they're hitting, they're hitting, right? But I'm saying like they need to be. I mean, I don't necessarily care how many necessary threes they make. That's if they're efficient, right? As long as they're efficient, right? But putting better spots where it's like you gotta where they best at. Put Jaylen Brown where it's like, okay, he don't need the ball top to keep. Put him where, you know what I mean, where he'd be more effective at. Like I said, when these guys get in their spots, they're gonna stop him. They've shown that. You know what I mean? Jaylen Brown averaged 27 points a game. Jason Tatum averaged 30. You know what I mean? These guys, so I'm very curious. And then, like I said, listen, speaking of them, I mean, they've been working out with each other too in the summertime. So, which I like a lot. So
Yeah, because people in the past, when Tatum was working out with KD, they were saying, "Oh, why Tatum is working out with KD and he's not working with Jaylen Brown?" I've always saw a report or
yeah,
pictures that Tatum was working out with Paul Pierce. But let's talk about the Eastern Conference. Who do you think are at the top when it comes to having a high chance to get to the finals? In the East, you got Milwaukee, Boston. Obviously, you got Miami for what they did last year. I've never trust Philadelphia. That's one of the things that I feel quote unquote proud that I've never trust Philly. I've never trust the process, bro. You're not gonna win. You're how let me ask you this, Trudy King and Herman there, if he want to respond to this. How you can build a championship contender, how you can have high hopes when you start the process with tanking, bro. It's like, what culture do you got? You went from tanking to get better players at the draft, and now you're trying to build a championship culture. Get the fuck out of here, man. Embiid has never got past the second round, so I'm not even sure that he's a first option. I'm not sure.
yeah.
that's
I mean, yeah,
actually
and
fair.
listen,
That's actually fair to say though.
yeah, that's fair. But here's the thing: it's not even about them. Listen, because everybody tanks at some point, right?
Yep.
But here's the problem: when you tank and make the bad decisions, right? You know what I mean? Listen, they could have had. I mean, and Ben, I'm not even going to go back and say Benson was a bad pick. I mean, listen, we understand. Listen, yeah, but they the ones that traded with Boston for that first pick. And they could have got Jason Tatum. You know what I mean? They the one who chose Markelle Fultz. You
And
know
they
what
could
I
have
mean?
got Jaylen Brown the year before.
They wasted Jahlil Okafor and Nerlens Wells. You know what I mean? They had some bad picks too.
Markelle
And it's
Fultz.
like, yeah, I mean, shout out to Markelle Fultz because he's balling in Orlando now. Shout out to him. But even with that, they gave up on Markelle Fultz.
I think they gave
Simmons,
up.
bro.
I think they gave up on Ben Simmons too soon, and I think one of their biggest mistakes was choosing Tobias
Jimmy.
Harris over Jimmy Butler.
Oh, Jimmy, bro. You how the
Yeah,
hell do you let go Jimmy, bro?
I don't know. Yeah, it is like that's crazy. Like, and then it's like, mind you, going back to what you saying, is Joel Embiid is he really honestly a number one guy? And that's really a question. I mean, hey, look, he's MVP, so I'm not going to say he's totally not per se, but that's in question. And I'm more than 100%. I'm almost 100% saying he maybe not be a number one guy. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
The fact that
Because
also
it's
that he
like
always get injured in the playoffs. He most of the time
that
he's
too.
always gonna miss a game in the playoffs, bro. You cannot rely on him to be healthy for an entire championship
Right,
run.
especially you have James Harden on your team. So you got Joel Embiid you got to worry about. Then you got James Harden.
And
Like it's just like
you could argue with saying the playoff run last year that Philly actually played at their best without Embiid than with him because James Harden had a lot of unbelievable games, especially in that Boston series. James Harden actually played better when Embiid wasn't on the floor. So that you actually could say that damn, Embiid might not be a number one. He might not be a franchise player.
And the fact that Brooklyn threw a double team at Joel Embiid and they neutralized Joel Embiid like no other team, bro. He dropped like 10 points for 10 points from the regular season to the playoffs. It's like, how are you supposed to be an elite player? People saying like you are dominant and shit, and a simple double team, quote unquote, gets you neutralized. It's crazy. And
yeah,
and 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 the fact that
it's
Joel
crazy.
did y'all know that Joel Embiid in during this past playoff he had more turnovers than assists?
Yep.
Yeah, it
That
was
Yep.
shit
bad.
is,
It was bad.
bro.
It
That
was
shit
bad.
is trash, bro. During in his career, Joel Embiid has more turnovers than assists in the playoffs. You're not gonna win a championship with a player like that, bro.
But
How you're
Nope.
gonna have more turnovers, bro?
I,
Damn.
I think it's mentality. I think it's mentality. I think it's mental. Has everything with him, and that's why I was saying like I think I even saw flashes of him when Ben Simmons was there. There was a point in time when Embiid was hurt during the season, and when Philadelphia put Ben Simmons at the five, I seen Ben Simmons outplay Rudy Gobert. I seen Ben
When
Simmons.
he scored 42, right?
Yeah, he scored 40, had a 42-point triple double on Rudy Gobert. Ben Simmons was actually playing his best ball at the time. It's like I think Philly didn't support Ben Simmons enough to the point where Ben Simmons could flourish. You know, when you got a talented guy like Ben Simmons, yes, we know he can't shoot, but Philly, why not have four guys that can spread out the floor? And yes, if you put Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons together, this is what they got to establish. I think Philly got to start establish. They should have been established. They may be too late. But you gotta tell Joel Embiid, you gotta be dominant on that block. We don't need you taking 20 footers. We don't need you taking a lot of threes. We need you to dominate on the block, dominate the board, set the tone in the interior so we could dominate. When you dominate the boards and you the more physical and opposing team, you gonna be in most games. And I think a lot of people forget that. And I
But
think a lot
her,
of people forget that basic thing. When you rebounding at a high level and you a leader on the interior, you gonna be in every game. It's just all about what you gonna do most of the time in the clutch. So I think Embiid got to work more on the block. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I
but
want to see
Herm,
what
what
the
people
block.
highlight from Joel Embiid's game? They say, "Oh, look at the way he shoot the free throw. Oh, look at the way he shoot the three. Oh, the what? Look at the skill set that Joel Embiid had.
Yeah,
He's never been a traditional back to the basket player. He fall in love sometimes too much with the three, but it's like sometimes people talk about his skill set like it's like they say, oh, Joel Embiid, he's dominant on defense and he's dominant offensively. And like, really, it's like he's obviously he's very good at protecting the rim, but sometimes people fall in love also with that type of skill, being a 7 footer, watching a 7 footer shooting three and shooting a high percentage from the free throw line. Sometimes people fall in love with that shit. Sometimes that happens too with KD, you know. Oh, look at KD, how he shoots the mid range, the three, the three, and the high level, the triple threat and shit. But KD, come on, man. KD obviously has going team to team, jumping from team to team. That was one of the topics that I wanted to discuss with True the King. Um, It's crazy, bro. But Joel Embiid, I don't know. I like Trudy King say, I'm
Yeah,
getting close to say that he's not a number one option.
and listen, Philly better be careful because he made the man to trade. All the
Yep.
James Harden mess is going on, and to be honest with you, hey, I mean, I don't know. And I mean, it just Philly's a mess, man. Philly's a mess right now, and I don't know what they're gonna do next year. It's gonna be a lot of questions,
They are
I mean,
cleaning
my quick per year.
the salary cap, right? They are trying to get because they didn't extend Tyrese Maxey, you know,
Yeah.
Tobias Harris, which was one of the worst contracts in the NBA. Now next year he's gonna come up the books for them. Maybe they are
Right.
trying to get some free agents and shit. But who would want to go to Philly?
I mean, they have to do a rebuild. They really, honestly,
Yep.
to tell you the truth, they really got to do a rebuild at this point.
Yeah,
Because like
it's they are jinx. Are they not? They are jinx, man.
yeah, I mean, it's
Say that 'cause they haven't won anything since the '80s, and they haven't been into an
Yep.
NBA Finals since Allen Iverson in 2001. So you can honestly say yes, Philly hasn't really done anything since the '80s, since Dr. J. They haven't won since Dr. J.
yeah, 83.
So in the East, who do you got Trudy King going or having a higher chance to get to the finals?
Who has a higher? Say it again. Who has a higher chance
To get to the finals for you to in the conference finals in the Eastern Conference?
I'll be honest with you. It's really like besides like 3 teams. To be honest with you, it's the Celtics, the Bucks, or Miami. Depending on that's also depending on if Dame goes to Miami.
Yep.
Honestly, and I don't I'll be honest with you. Like I said, it's really those 3 teams. Honestly, no disrespect to other teams, but it's like there are differences. But I don't know. I mean, I do think the East got better. I think the East somewhat did get better this going into the next season, but those really the 3 teams, honestly, that has a chance to come out the East.
Let Herm.
Yeah, I totally agree, but I think the 2 teams for sure that is the class of the East is the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. Boston should be the favorites coming at the East, in my opinion. And I think Boston, people sleeping on this. And people not thinking about this. Jason Tatum wants Dame Lillard to be in Boston. And Boston don't necessarily have to get rid of Jaylen Brown to get Dame Lillard. They got a lot of assets to mess around to get Dame Lillard.
Yeah, Dame declined it. Dame declined it though. You didn't see that?
Yep.
Dame declined it though.
Yeah.
So I mean, Dame, yeah, we can get my fault, but Dame. But like I said, I do think Dame eventually do go to Miami. But Dame's problem is though he trying to control the grind narrative. Oh no, I mean he ain't trying to like you get what I'm saying. He trying to control. Oh, like I'm like you know what I mean. I'm gonna be on the grind. He don't want to because if let's say he going to Celtics, right? He'll look like a hypocrite, right? You know what I mean?
I think he actually won't. I think he actually won't though, because either way it go, you trying to go to Miami. They've been to 2 NBA finals in the last 4 years without you.
Right.
Boston Celtics, they've been to an NBA finals. True, they got more star power than Miami, but you in the same boat. Miami been to 3 conference finals. Boston been to Boston been to the same amount. So I mean, either way it go, you go look like you want to run.
Yeah, but not really. But his thing when Dan goes to Miami, though, we know though that he's going to be the guy on that team. That's the thing. If he go to Boston, he's taking the backseat to Jason Tatum. That's the thing. So you know what I mean. That's what it is.
So Lillard going to Miami, he's going to be the first option.
Yeah, I mean Jimmy Butler that's still Jimmy Butler's team, but it's going to be a situation where like when KD went to the Warriors. Yes, that was still Steph Curry's team, but let's not get twisted. When KD got there at that time, he was the better player.
Do Lillard move the needle like that?
No, I think he'll make Miami worse.
I'll say this though, like he don't move. He'll help them compete in to come out the East, but I don't think he moves the needle like people think he do though.
Yep.
Like people gotta understand, like Miami lost a lot. Miami lost, even if you get Dame, Miami lost a lot. Like, and that's, I mean, my man. So it's like we'll see what happens, but it's like you lost depth from the guard spot from Max Strus and Gabe Vincent. You're going to lose Tyler Hero. You're going to lose Tyler Hero and Kyle Lowry to get
Or
And
Duncan
Duncan
Robinson.
Robinson. And Duncan Robinson.
Well, even Duncan Robinson, like even I heard rumors that like they may get like Kelly Oubre and Christian Wood, but is that enough? I mean, okay, let's say their roster is like if they eventually get Dame, like Dame, Kelly Oubre, Christian Wood, Bam, Demi. I mean, that's a solid team, right? That's a solid team, but is that
On
enough
paper.
to beat the Bucks? Is that enough to beat the Bucks or the Celtics? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
And true, and this is what I'm gonna say about Dame Lillard, and I'm gonna call him out. Dame, if you want a higher chance of winning championship, if you about winning, it's two teams you need to go to that you can make a difference of and get them over
Bucks.
the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. Those are your two best situations for Boston. The reason why he'll fit great in Boston, that's the type of guard they actually been missing in their offense. And don't you know, it'll give Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum even more easier buckets and even more easier looks. And then they don't have to worry about playmaking because Dame Lillard would change the fact with that. So Jason Tatum would probably shoot almost 60% from the field. You can have a guy like Dame Lillard on the team, and Jaylen Brown would be efficient. Boston would be unstoppable, and they still defensively would still be good because they don't have to get rid of their top guys to get them. They don't have to get rid of their top guys to get Dame.
Right, but here's the thing. I mean, but at the same time, listen. I mean, but Dame wants to control his narrative. Dame don't want to look at a guy that you know what I mean. That you know what I mean, run from the grind. Because if he because that's a bit like I don't know. Like but Dame put himself in that position for even like saying that. And I mean, whatever. Don't run for the grind and all that. But like
Preaching loyalty.
right, because like here's the thing though. Like if he was to go, because here's the thing, his number one choice is Miami. It's like which I don't understand why. I mean, that Miami would be a number one choice. I mean, no disrespect to Miami. Miami's a great franchise, but you try to tell me you choosing Miami over playing with Jason Tatum. You playing with you rather choose play with Jimmy Butler and Bam over Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and for the Bucks with Giannis and all like that's hey, to each his own. I don't know, but hey, I mean, we'll see what happens, man. It's gonna be very interesting.
You touch on Giannis. Like I told you before, I'm a great supporter of international players. Obviously, Joker, Giannis. I don't fuck with Joel Embiid. I support a little bit of Luka, obviously, because he's a great talent. I like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I have some doubts with Wembayama, but we'll see what happens with him in his rookie year. But let's talk about Giannis a little bit before we go to the Western Conference. Giannis, man. I don't like this shit talking about I have to know that everybody's committed to spend time away from my family like I do and this shit and my thing was the first thing that came to my mind was why Giannis reacted the way that he did when they asked him about it was a failure or not being eliminated by an A seed be having the best record in the NBA, and he was like very passionate and very, why do you ask me that question? It's not a failure, and he went into this motivational speech that went viral and shit, but I don't know, man. I don't understand maybe sometimes why players have to, put everything on public, put everything on blast. It's like they are too open sometimes, and they put these messages on with the media, obviously, to put some pressure on the franchise. But sometimes I don't get it, man. Why players have to, do the dirty laundry with the media?
I don't know. I mean, that's a good. I mean, because I don't know because honestly, if Giannis, I think he's a level of player to at least talk to the French, talk to ownership or you know what I mean, the management first. I mean, if you feel that way, hey, let me hear it first, whatever. Or maybe he did or whatever. He just saying we don't know. But like I mean, clearly, like listen, I mean, Milwaukee, like I said, Milwaukee window is slimming down, is shrinking. Holiday don't have a lot of years left. He said he's gonna retire soon, like a couple years. Brook Lopez, he's getting older. You know what I mean? So who's Chris Middleton? Question marks on him. Can he get back to the form that he was in the finals?
It's going to be tough.
So I mean, listen. I mean, clearly the Bucks got to try to do something to make Giannis happy again. I mean, it's not. I mean, cause Giannis been like this before though. That's how they got Drew Holiday. He wasn't happy before, and hey, they made some moves, and hey, but we'll see.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, man, Drew Holiday talking about retirement. That shit is crazy too. Curry was the other day talking about retirement too, saying that he has 3 more years. And do you remember the reports that came like a couple of months ago, saying that Giannis was contemplating retiring before he won his ring? It's like it's getting weird, you know. With Giannis, it's like I don't know, man. I wouldn't like him to leave, you know. I wouldn't.
I think Giannis, though. I think here's the thing, Giannis. Before you start calling out the front office, before you start calling out teammates, look yourself in the mirror. Honestly, Game 6 against Miami, you're the reason why they lost. You miss over 10 free throws in that game. Yes, you had 37-20, but when it mattered the most in that fourth quarter, you missed over 10 free throws in a quarter.
Right. And and plus the injuries also, right? He got injured. Like, bro, it's like if you notice too, Giannis has been, you know, he piled up injuries of late, you know?
Yeah.
Piled up injuries of late. So it's like you can't, I mean, and that being said though, like you can't get mad how the roster constructed when you got your brother on the team that let's be real. The one just got cut, right? Didn't they send a report today?
Yeah,
they just signed him yesterday, and he got cut. Listen, but here's the thing, though. Like that's like, come on, like, no, hey, you, like, what? How do you expect? You got your brother, and let's be real, no respect to his brother, but is he an NBA player? Would he be in any other NBA team?
Hell
honestly,
no,
probably not. And he was saying, "Oh, I was talking with the Knicks and shit." Man, you ain't going to the Knicks, bro. Tom Thibodeau ain't playing your ass, bro.
Here's the thing though, right? And that could be that probably is true, right? Because here's the thing. The only reason why Knicks want to sign you because they want Giannis.
Oh,
that's only what it is.
Great point.
That's only what it is. It's only what it is. Like the only reason why people will even have him on a roster so they can get Giannis. That's the only reason why.
That's why the Knicks are looking into it, because Giannis did publicly say he want one of those markets, whether it's the New York market or the Los Angeles market. So he does want one of those markets for his California and New York. So that's why the Laker Nation feel like in a couple of years they're going to get him. But New York Knicks have a strong chance as well because he's interested in the New York market as well. So he's going to be looking at the best scenario. And if I'm Giannis, honestly, I think the New York Knicks probably be the better scenario of what they got building. Jalen Brunson getting better and better each year. They got some good role players now. And all they got to do is shit. Now, you know, when you get there, Julius Randle is going to be gone. So it's really going to be your team. And the Knicks do got some good talent over there. And I think that would be a good constructed team around them. And I think New York Knicks, you have an easier path to try to advance to the NBA Finals every year instead of going through that West. But I think that'll be a good look for them to go to the New York Knicks instead of going to the Lakers. But
then
I
Knicks
won't be surprised,
the Knicks, man. They wanted Zion, they wanted LeBron in 2010. Now it's like they always gonna go after superstar, but it's like who has been the latest king of NYC was who? Will Frazier, Willis Reed.
Yeah,
but
like,
I'm not, you know, KD. I think KD was bad in Brooklyn.
I think the last best free agent signing. Well, I mean, we know Jalen Brunson most recently, but that affected
Carmelo.
No, I mean, other than Carmelo too, they traded for him though. They traded for Melo, but I think the Trail Sprewell was underrated when they got him in the late '90s. In the '90s and they made their runs, go teams were pretty damn good. That's honestly the last big free agent they got. Outside of Jalen Brunson, the Trail Sprewell was the last big free agent signing they got. I would say Julius Randle, but Julius Randle, we know he's not a guy that's gonna move the needle for you to win championships and compete for championships. Now Jalen Brunson he can be a good piece to a championship team, and I liked how he played last year. It's just that Miami Heat just was the better team. And that's all it was. But New
Yep.
York, I think that'd be a good market for Giannis. But Giannis, before you call out the front office, before you call out, you already got the coach fired. And I think that Budenholzer should have been gone. But before you call out your teammates at the front office, work on your free throws. Work on your post game. Because really
Yeah, bro. Giannis post game ain't that good, bro.
because when they take away them driving lanes for Giannis, what can he do, y'all? What's his go to after they take
Rebound.
away driving
Yeah,
lanes?
he can rebound, but he doesn't have like go to move or something like that. Even the hook shots are streaky too.
Because a wall is not gonna work if you have a post game. If you can work on the block, you don't have to worry about a wall. If you can work on the block, so
Yep.
that's my thing with Giannis, man.
So
Work on your fundamentals, man.
transitioning perfectly transitioning from the Eastern Conference to the Western Conference. What's your opinion about Steve Kerr? He obviously this is a topic that I want to discuss in another occasion, but people say, oh, when players go to the national team, when players go to the Olympics, when they go and reunite on the Team USA, they form bonds and shit relationship that later made that end up playing together. Some players, like we saw with LeBron, with D Wade, and everything. But sometimes we forget that coaches can do that shit too. That we've seen a lot of Steve Kerr saying that Anthony Edwards is one of the best players that he's ever coached. Later, a couple of days ago, he said, I would really like to coach Giannis. And obviously, we were talking about Giannis before. But what do y'all think about Steve Kerr making this type of comments? And like Trudy King said, it's very common nowadays that players are putting this shit on blast and being open about playing with each other. Patrick Beverly saying that Anthony Edwards is going to be probably end up leaving Minnesota and shit. It's like everything is very public.
Yeah. Yeah, when social media, that's the thing about social media, right? I mean, things gonna be public. People post things, people say things, people more visible and in a sense reachable on people when it comes to people with opinions, comments, things they, you know what I mean? So, hey, that's the thing. Back in the day, was no social media, so it's like you didn't know how certain people feel on a certain day. A lot of people, it was less interviews back then, less exposure. So, like, you know what I mean? So now it's like I said, for example, here now it's like, oh, we can reach just like this contact. You know what I mean? You can get all the time. Now it's
it's one of the benefits of social media, like you mentioned perfectly. But Steve Kerr, even Eric Spoelstra was saying, "Oh, it's difficult to not see D Wade on Anthony Edwards." Anthony Edwards has been I really like him. He's obviously a young talent. But let me ask you this, True the King, and I think Henry left. Which team are you most interested in watching this year in the Western Conference in the Western Conference?
Ooh, what team I'm looking interested in the most in the Western Conference? That's a good question. I'm gonna say
we got a lot of teams: Spurs, Thunder, Rockets, Pelicans.
I'm gonna say I got three teams.
Phoenix, even Phoenix.
Yeah, I got three teams. I mean, Phoenix they just got names on. They just. Yep. But the three teams I'm curious because it's like the Grizzlies, OKC, and the Rockets.
Oh,
those are three teams I'm curious to see them to watch. You know what I mean? Excited because Ime Udoka's back. Ime Udoka's back, head coaching. The Rockets. Last time we see him coach, it was the 22 NBA Finals. And if you look at how they team, they said, now Fred VanVleet, I'm not a big fan with him, but he's a good player. I mean, maybe his contract, he was a little overpaid a little bit, but nevertheless, he's a decent player. I like
Dylan Brooks,
the young players. Yeah, I liked it. I'm not a fan of Dylan Brooks like that either, but
Too many
he does
antics.
play. But he plays great defense.
Yep.
He plays great defense.
I like
He's a
Whitmore.
veteran. Yeah, Whitmore. Like I said, the young talent, the Jalen Greens, the
Jalen
Asar
Green.
Thompson.
I don't feel that. I don't feel him, bro. To me, Jalen Green is like the Cade Cunningham of the Western Conference, bro. I'm not feeling Jalen Green, bro.
You don't like Cade? You don't like Cade either?
No. I mean, it's not that I don't.
I mean, I just think with Amendola as a head coach there, with his experience, I think with that young team, because Jalen, he can help Mo. I mean, because basically, Amendola basically got the same coaching staff he had when he was in Boston. Really, majority of it. So, because those guys from last year, Boston, they left to go coach the Rockies. So I mean, like I said, Asar Thompson, he's a combo guard. I mean, so they're gonna be intriguing. I think the Grizzlies got. I mean, that Marcus Smart pickup. That was a great pickup. That was a great pickup because now it's like you got a guy that, I mean,
some leadership, bro.
Leadership, veteran. They had to get rid of Tyrus Jones, but I mean, Marcus Smart he also can facilitate.
What do you think about the coach, bro? Taylor Jenkins.
Yeah.
I don't like him too much.
Yeah, he gotta get better. He gotta figure something out. One thing is, I would like to see the chemistry. Which, I mean, unfortunately, John Morant being suspended, that doesn't help. But I mean, if they can make it gel, I think it can work. Marcus Smart is the type of player that you can, he can fit anywhere. You got 2 defensive player of the year back. I mean, he got 2 defensive player of the years on the same team that's been on there recently. So which is rare. I don't remember the last time that even happened, right? You got the 2022 defensive player of the year and this year defensive player on the next year's team. So they're gonna be very exciting, man. And then also OKC. Now let's see if OKC can take that next step. I mean, we mentioned SGA earlier when it comes to the feed with his game. We know he's box office. One of the best guards in the NBA.
Who would you pick? Who would you pick to build your franchise around? Ja Morant or SGA?
I would say Ja Morant.
Wow. And if you have to choose between Ja and Ant-Man,
that's tough. I may still have to say Ja. Because I understand,
really, man?
Because here's the thing. I understand the off-court issues and stuff like that. That may be, I understand that. But that being said, since Ja Morant been on the Grizzlies, he's been helping them out. They've been contenders fast. You know what I mean? So Ja Morant is a special guy, man. His impact and how he can raise the team. He's a special player. If he get all the outside noise and the outside antics and all that, you just chill out on that and hope, you know what I mean, to be on the court. I mean, Ja Morant is very special, man. I mean, I think people forget now. I think people are overshadowing the gun situation and all that. What he really is, Ja Morant is able to do. You know what I mean? Like Ja Morant only been in the league for 4 years? What, been 4 years, right? Been in the league. So,
like 2019.
Look at the success the Grizzlies had. You know what I mean? It ain't like Grizzlies been losing the teams in the playoffs. Like they losing the best, the Lakers last year. Every day the Lakers was playing, but Lakers was one of the best teams in the West. Lose the year before that, they lost to the Warriors. So it's not like they losing to like where the teams in the West. So it's like the Grizzlies up and coming, and Ja Morant's a face that. So
the problem. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
And I like I said, I understand when you compare to Ant, like where Ant may be he's more marketable per se. I'm not gonna argue that. Maybe he may be more marketable. But Ja's an impactful player.
The fact the thing with Ja, one thing is the defense. He's not playing defense, right?
Yeah, he gotta get better on that though. Like I said, we're adding Marcus Smart on that team.
Yep, that's gonna help.
him, especially him getting better, of course. And Jaren Jackson Jr. getting better, and that
Yeah.
this team in general. I think that's going to come.
Yeah, one thing is the defense. Another thing, he's sometimes injury prone. He got when he played the Warriors in the playoff, he got injured. Last year when he played the Lakers, he got injured with his wrist. I think. And sometimes I question, bro. Sometimes I question if I don't know. If maybe obviously maybe I can be exaggerating and shit, but I don't know if Ja Morant knows how to play the game like a very high level. You know, he's probably one of the most athletic players in the NBA, but I don't know if he really, like, you know, maybe the game hasn't slowed down to him that yet, but the fact that he's not reliable from three, he doesn't shoot the mid range too. He's like going to the rim. In that and we knew from Westbrook dealing with injuries, with especially Derrick Rose having a lot of injuries, that these type of players that mostly go to the rim with that force and with that regularity, they are prone to get injured.
Yeah. So definitely right about that. So hopefully, like you say, he stays healthy. Like I said, hey, the Grizzlies are a dangerous team.
Yeah, long game
Nah,
is not there. My bad.
my fault. My fault.
It says, yes, long game is not there too much hitting the floor and relying on vertigo. Yeah. But he's one of the best players, obviously, in the restricted area. He scores a lot of points in the paint area. He's maybe close. I think I saw one year he was close with Giannis in terms of point per game in the paint. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is also there. Sometimes that's also that people say about Shea that he doesn't shoot the three. Bro, I gotta ask you about Denver, bro. What do you think about Denver this year? A lot of people saying, "Oh, Denver's not gonna win again. That's the only ring that they are gonna win and shit." What do you think about Denver, man? And having to go through the Western Conference with a lot of great teams and great players.
I think Denver probably is the favorite per se as of right now. But at the same time, I think the West has gotten better. And I think Denver may have gotten maybe a little worse. Because I mean, I think a lot of people were kind of overshadowing this and people not talking. But Bruce Brown, we're gonna find out if that was a big loss or not, because Bruce Brown was Denver's best bench player last year, and he lost Jeff Green. So you lost two of your best bench guys last year. I mean, going in this year, lost two best guys. Hey, shout out to my brother, man. That's my blood brother, Dave, man. What up, man?
Salute.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, Denver. I think Denver still favors though, but I think it's gonna be tougher. I mean, because I know I got Justin Holiday. I like that. I think that's a good pickup, but I don't know how he's gonna replace what Bruce Brown did.
But we had Christian Brown. He was the rookie last year playing in the finals. We were like only two teams, if I'm not mistaken, were playing like rookies a lot of minutes, which were the Sacramento Kings playing Keegan Murray, and Denver was playing a lot of minutes for Christian Brown. But one thing that obviously they lost Jeff Green, who is older, and he went to the Rockets, and Bruce Brown, who went to the Pacers. But we also, I think we should give credit obviously to those players, but we should also give credit to the Denver system, right? Because people were not talking like this when Bruce Brown was in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, I knew that when, like, for me, when Bruce Brown got to the Nuggets, I saw it. You know what I mean? Like, I saw that was a good pickup when I first got him. So even when, like I said, Jeff Green, you know, I mean, I've always been always rock with Jeff Green, even when he was on
Jeff.
OKC. Yeah, even when he was on OKC playing, you know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, like I said, Christian, but going to your point, like I said, I do like the Justin Holiday pickup.
We got Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson. But like Christian Braun, I think if he has to steps up, of course, his experience last year, if he steps up, and Justin Holiday, I mean, like I said, I still got y'all as of right now. I still got y'all favorites. So But like I said, I do think it's tougher. Like I said, if y'all that had Bruce Brown still, I think it would be more easier, more of a gap. But hey, I mean, like I said, you got the best player in the world in Jokic. You got I mean, arguably the best duo with him and Jamal Murray.
I was gonna ask you, bro, who's the best player, and you already answered it, bro.
Yeah, Jokic is 1A, Giannis 1B. Be honest, that's the only person you really can say is Giannis. But like right now, I gotta say Jokic. I mean, even though people are like, I don't like how people be lying about Jokic's defense. Listen, Jokic may not be a great defender, but he's not no liability. That's not his defense score is not his strong suit, but it's not like a liability. I mean, listen, he defends. You know what I mean? Somewhat.
Yeah,
and that being said, though, like, yeah, and that being my fault, but that being said, like, when you can dominate the game like that, when it comes to scoring, passing and rebounding, I mean, what he do, which I don't listen. He's a very unique talent. I mean, I've never seen nobody like him. So.
Thank you, bro. Sometimes people say, 𝕮𝕳𝕴𝕷𝕰𝕹𝕬 was doing Jokic things before. It's like, bro, come on, man. We got to start paying more respect to Jokic, man. It's like dominating the way he's doing it without a vertical jump. He has the shortest vertical jump in the NBA. Obviously, as you mentioned on defense, he's never gonna be a rim protector and averaging 4 blocks and shit and steals, but he has one of the highest IQ ever. But he's limited physically. He cannot move his feet as fast as Anthony Davis. He's not as athletic as Anthony Davis or Jaren Jackson or other players. So he has the IQ. Maybe his hands work faster, but he's limited physically. But the way that he dominated, leading the playoffs in points, rebounds, and assists, points totals, rebounds, and assists, it was crazy, man. Like you mentioned, man, we have never seen a point center like running the offense, scoring, rebounding, assisting. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, because Sabonis, Sabonis one of the like slept. Hey, that's a big what if, right? If he came in the league where he was supposed to, but like,
yeah,
I mean, that's a fair comparison. Like, wow, Jokic, I mean, he's bringing the ball up. Like, you talk about the Sabonis was a great passer, but like Jokic is bringing the ball up, and it just like Jokic is like it's the next level. So it's like you got a guy like Jokic that's like you have to like doesn't matter he has the ball in his hands or not. A guy that can play with the ball with his hands, dribble handoff, screens, action backdoor, like you gotta worry about it every single time. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then you got a guy like a scorer like Jamal Murray.
Yep.
That can feed off of that. You got shooters around him, and that's the thing also too. And the reason why I think y'all got favorites, like I said, Michael Porter Jr. reached that. Now see this thing never can be real scary next year. If Michael Porter Jr. Reached his potential, I think he has to step up. In general, if y'all want to win a championship next year, if he plays to this potential or near his potential, he needs to be. People forget Michael Porter Jr. was arguably, they would say he could have been at least a top 3 pick. Fell short because he's back, and he which he still talks about now that he's trying to get back to where he used to be. Because people forget, like he ain't really like he talks about his back. He's trying to get back fluid, like how he was to how he used to move. So if he step his game up and play at an all-star level, they're gonna be dangerous. Right?
And Gordon, we got Gordon there too. So
solid, best KCP. Hey, 3-and-D, Aaron Gordon, those two guys right there. Malone, Coach Malone, y'all go, Coach. I mean, hey,
we got a chance. One thing that I would like to say is that why obviously you said that Giannis, it was 1A and 1B with Giannis and Joker. To me, one of the best argument is that how many players can dominate the regular season in the playoffs nowadays. To me, it's like Giannis and Joker. Giannis and Joker can be candidates to MVP in the regular season, and they can dominate in the playoffs. Curry maybe can dominate in the playoffs, but Curry is not playing at a high level in the regular season, being like top 3 MVP and shit like that. during the last 3 years, the three candidates for MVP have been Embiid, Giannis, Joker. So and that's one thing that I thought the other day is like in the last 3 seasons. I don't know before in the NBA history if that already happened, but in the last 3 seasons we have had international players winning MVPs and Finals MVP in the same season. In 2021, Jokic won the MVP from Serbia. Giannis won the Finals MVP from Greece. 2023, Joel Embiid won the MVP from France, or I don't know where the fuck is Joel Embiid from, Cameroon. Then he went to France and shit. And Jokic won the Finals MVP. It's like, what do you think about the fact that international players are dominating the NBA now, right now, for the last couple of years?
Not really. It's not really surprising. The NBA is tried to expand globally for years now. Even back then in the '90s, the Dream Team, that's what it got it started. They try to make the game more global. And now, fast forward, now you see the game being influenced in other countries and stuff like that. Got guys like Luka, Giannis, Jokic merging, and more international players now playing over in the league. A lot of the other thing too, it was a lot of also restrictions too back in the day too. Like what's my man from Brazil?
Anderson Varejão?
No, my God, he never played in the NBA. Robert. Let me hold up. See, my mind went blank. I'm gonna get his name. Oscar Smith. Like it was a lot of restrictions back in the day. Where it's like if you went to the league, if you played in the NBA, you couldn't even play for your national team. It was certain things like that going on back in the day where it's like if you played the NBA, you couldn't play in their national team. So some players stayed over there for all this time, and even so now you got guys that's because mind them international players they like 13 years old. They pro at 13.
Yep.
And they getting drafted at 18. Back in the day, you got guys that would get like drafted per se. They come in the league late 20s, 30s, like Artis Sabonis, Tony Kukoc, and stuff like that. Ginobili. So it's like, the game came a long way. Now it's more international. You even got new countries coming in. South Sudan, they just got finally they just got in the Bahamas. They just It's emerged, which is a good thing. Globally, more competition, and all that. So,
yep. So hopefully we can have a lot of great players coming to the NBA. Wembanyama, I don't know. Maybe we can talk in another occasion about Wembanyama when the season starts. But I cannot end this stream without asking you about 3 teams, bro. Are the LA Clippers, or as I call them, the strippers, are they for real, bro? Or it's like they are the Philadelphia 76ers of the West?
The Clippers, that's a good question because it's a good question because listen, like it's just like when they lost to Denver and they blew that 3-1 lead, and then like then afterwards they just been hurt. It's hard to really believe in them because Kawhi Leonard, like I said, it's like, hey, Kawhi Leonard. When we talk about Joel Embiid, when you compare them to the Sixers, Joel Embiid always hurt. Kawhi Leonard is always hurt. Even Paul George always hurt. So it's like, listen, we understand Kawhi Leonard's a boss. Kawhi Leonard, a top 10 player when healthy. Especially in the playoffs. Like he played.
And his leadership is questioned sometimes, right? Like Joel Embiid.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, questions. But like, the difference is with Kawhi is though, at least when we know when Kawhi Leonard on the court.
Yeah, he's proven. He's proven. He's proven.
So it's like I gotta give Kawhi that, but at the same time though, he ain't on the court. He's not old.
And you got your second option in PG who's hurt all the time too.
Yeah. So it's like now,
damn.
Because, listen, if they healthy, they're going to be they definitely be for the title if they're healthy. When you got Kawhi, Paul George, and Westbrook, you could compete for a title, but the question is, are they going to be healthy? And it's hard to, to bleed,
Yep.
they're going to be bleed at. I mean, unfortunately.
It's crazy with the Clippers, bro. Every time the closest thing that they got to the finals was with against the Suns, but Kawhi was
Right.
injured. The all the time that
Right.
Kawhi has been in the Clippers, only 1 year he has not got injured in 2020 against the Denver Nuggets. Each year
Yeah,
after that, he has got injured, bro. It's crazy.
Right.
It's like
Two
where
or
do you
three
got
more league.
Kawhi? Where do you got Kawhi in the top 10, top 15? Where do you got Kawhi?
Like right now?
Like close to top 10. Is he arguably a top 10 or because I don't know if you know Big Nose
If
M that
I'll
that
say
motherfucker.
if he's healthy, he's top 10. But I don't know. Like he's top 15. If you want to put
Yeah,
him
bro.
top 10, that's cool. But it's like it's hard. Like he don't be on the court. It's like we know what he's capable of. But it's like when you don't play, you don't. It's hard. I mean, He's not reliable. That has to be a part of it, right? I mean, I think I put him top 15, but
I got him like in his own category. Mira, look. It's like I got Jokic, Giannis. These are names like in no order, right? Jokic, Giannis, Curry, Luka, Embiid, Tatum, KD, or maybe I should put KD low, a little bit low. AD, Butler, Damian Lillard, and then I got Kawhi, LeBron, Kyrie. Which are great players, but they are like getting old, getting injured, especially with Kawhi and Kyrie. LeBron is getting fucking old. KD, maybe I should put KD in that group too, but it's like, it's difficult if you're not playing, if you're not reliable to be there for your team. It's like, they low manage Kawhi in the regular season to make him play in the playoffs. It doesn't work. He still gets hurt. It's like, come on, man.
Like it's crazy. Like you still get hurt. Like hot dang. Like come on, you know what I mean?
And it's gonna and it's gonna be taxing for him, like right mentally. It's like going through another rehab once again. Another rehab is gonna be taxing on his mind. How much time will he be willing to do that shit over and over again?
Right.
It's crazy, man. So let's go to the other side of LA. What do you think about the Lakers, bro? The fact that people, AD is not top 10. Oh, LeBron is still the best player in the Lakers and shit. Oh, AD has to. What do you think? What do you think about the pressure, quote unquote, that people and the media put on AD? That's like, the Lakers are gonna go as further as Anthony Davis takes them. Oh, Anthony Davis gotta be MVP of the regular season for the Lakers to be good. Oh, AD's gotta be a great top 5 player and shit. What do you think about AD, bro, and the Lakers and everything?
I think AD definitely got to step up because I mean,
is he capable?
I mean, we'll see. Because like I said, I think he can. I don't think you can win a championship with him as your number 1 guy either, though.
Yup.
And he's a hell of a player. I think he's a top 10 player. But,
Me too.
I mean, we understand he's an excellent defender. Probably may argue the best defender in his generation.
Is he the best defender? I think he's the best.
I mean,
right?
maybe he may be the best defender. He's in that. But here's the thing: he's in that conversation. But at the same time, I mean, he is great offensively. But at times, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
his jumper went to hell, right? He's not shooting threes anymore.
Right, but it's not even that. It's just like he's like, I don't know. It's like, and I'm
his motor.
It's like his motor is not there. It's like here's the thing with the even with the Jokic, the Denver Nuggets. They got swept. Like I didn't think they were gonna get swept. Like where's your? I mean, I know I'm not asking him to outplay Jokic or anything, but like it's just like you have to at the end of the time you have advantages over Jokic in the day. It doesn't mean you don't have to be better than him, but you still have advantages that you could use. You know what I mean? But like I said, he couldn't step up when it's time to step up. Like you have a game that he had 30 points, then one game he had 15 the next game, So it's like he definitely got to step up because, like I said, it's unfair. It's unfair for a guy like LeBron James to, a guy that's doing this for. He's been playing for 21 years. Man, been playing for years. Listen, Father Time, like I said, you're asking that guy to do too much, and so. But overall, the Lakers, I did like a couple moves. I did like the move they made. The Gabe Vincent, that was a cool pickup. Terry Prince.
Jackson Hayes.
Sean D, Jackson Hayes, decent pick. Cam Reddish. Let's see now. Hey, let's see Cam Reddish, man. Listen, man, there's no more excuses now for Cam Reddish, a guy, that guy on the team. So we'll see. Listen, I'm a Celtics fan, so it's like, listen, I don't. They hope they lose every game. Hope they lose every game. But to be honest, I mean, listen, I think they still gonna be contending. But the question is, I don't think they can win a championship though with that roster though. But we'll see.
Yeah, and it's crazy when people say, "Oh, LeBron was scoring 40 points and shit, bro." LeBron in 16 games that they play in the playoffs, he scored 41 times. A shout out to Dylan Brooks who wanted LeBron to score 40 on him, and he scored 31 times. So in 16 games, he scored more than 32 times, if I'm not mistaken. So people sometimes, but that's always gonna happen. People are gonna fall in love with the numbers. Same with Giannis. Giannis. Oh, but he had a 38 points, 20 rebounds in Game 7. It's like, what? Come on, man. But it is what it is, man. So we'll see what happens with the Lakers. One last thing before I let you go, man. I don't want to take advantage of your time. Once again, thanks for being here. Thanks to Herm who also came here. Shout out to you and shout out to Herm. The last team, the Warriors, man. I got a lot of Warriors fans on my channel. What do you think about Golden State? I don't fuck with Draymond, bro. Draymond to me is a fake tough guy, man. The fact that he fucking punched Jordan Poole in the face, man, it's like that shit is weak, bro. You never did that to Tristan Thompson when he put the basketball in your face. You never did that to LeBron, bro. It's like I don't fuck with Draymond, bro. I respect Curry obviously because he's a great player. He has 4 rings. He won the Finals MVP a couple of years ago. Clay has been declining, obviously. He likes to talk a lot of shit, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna come back to China with a 5th ring and shit." And he has to show. I don't like Clay too because he do this shit of the 4 rings. Get the fuck out of here, bro. What do you think about the Warriors, man?
The Warriors, I think they trying to be in a transitional period. And I'll be honest with you, I think they're going to struggle this year.
Yeah, me too. I think they're going to struggle.
They probably going to be they could be a playing team. I mean, I don't see them finishing more than as a 6th seed. To be honest with you, they're probably going to be a playing team. And that may be unpopular opinion, but beyond, I mean, that Jordan Poole, Chris Paul trade, that was a lateral move.
Chris Paul, yeah, I forgot. My bad. I forgot about CP0. Yeah. I call him CP0 rings.
Oh man, yeah. Hey, I think Chris Paul, one of the best point guards of all time, but he's not the same guy no more. I think he's washed. He's washed.
Oh damn!
Listen. I mean,
that's true. That's true.
And the question is he going to buy into his role? Like this man been a starting point guard his whole career, and with a big role his whole career. Now in the Warriors, you asked to minimize that and come off the bench. Is he going to fully buy in? I mean, even like I say, when it comes to the Olympics and stuff like that, he's been starting his whole career, like as a point guard. So it's like asking him to come off the bench. That's kind of going to be tough, in my opinion. We'll see. But
he's going to have to check his ego, right?
Yeah, and then it's like, and going back, I think that was the lateral move. Like, to be honest with you, I think they got Chris Paul, honestly, they really just want to get rid of Jordan Poole.
Yup.
And
even though Jordan Poole played all 82 games last year.
Right, and it's like Jordan Poole, like, and I think, to be honest, you can argue the Wizards may have won that trade. You can make the argument that the Wizards may have won that trade because, like, I mean, they just really. I'll be honest, I think the Warriors wanted to trade Jordan Poole because I think if they could have got somebody better, they would have. But a guy like Chris Paul that's making that much money. I mean, his last year in his contract was still nobody wanted to touch that contract, even with 1 year left, because like, it's a bad contract right now for Chris Paul. So. Yes, is he going to add like facilitating and playmaking and being a forward general on that team in a sense? Yeah, there's going to be some pros to it, but I think there's too many cons. Because the Warriors like to play the fast pace, but I mean, Chris Paul likes to play it slow. So how that dynamic going to work? And then it's like the injuries, and his age. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they did. I mean, I don't know how to. I mean, listen, we'll see. I mean, Clay, like I said, go back. Clay declining. Draymond, he's getting older. Mind you, speaking of that too, it's like Draymond Green said he don't even know Jonathan. Like he says he don't really know Jonathan Kuminga. It's like, why you don't really know guys that you ground every day? You supposed to be a veteran. Aren't you a veteran? Why are you not showing rookies under the rope? You know what I mean? Or whatever. So that kind of was weird to me. So we'll see. We'll find out how good they're gonna be.
Yep, and we Chris Paul there. Obviously, Chris Paul he's being known as a dirty player. When he was on the Clippers, he had trouble with Blake Griffin. When he was with the Rockets, he had issues with James Harden. When he went to the Phoenix Suns, he had issue with DeAndre Ayton. Do you think that maybe they brought, because I've said this before, it's like, Curry personality, Clay's personality is not a strong personality. They are not gonna go face to face against Draymond Green. Do you think that maybe they brought Chris Paul as someone maybe with some statue in the league? Obviously he hasn't any rings to show for it, but do you think that maybe they brought Chris Paul to, like, be a presence in the locker room that can maybe neutralize or go against some type of way against Draymond, who has been going crazy lately, stomping on motherfucking 𝕮𝕳𝕴𝕷𝕰𝕹𝕬 and shit, getting suspended,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like I say, I think the veteran leadership that Chris Paul has, I think that definitely they probably looked at per se. But I really think that move honestly was really just to get rid of Jordan Poole, honestly. And I mean, mind you, Jordan, I don't think a lot of people were looking at Jordan Poole like that, because they would have got somebody better than Chris Paul. I don't think Chris Paul at this stage of career is a need to move like that. I mean,
yeah, and even the Warriors, they gave one first-round pick to the Wizards in order for them to take Jordan Poole. Right. It's crazy. And with the Chris Paul and Draymond, they gonna battle against each other. Maybe this is something that I thought about. Maybe when Curry was saying, "Oh, I'm the greatest point guard ever" and shit, maybe that was like a subtle like a subtle message to Chris Paul. It's like you mentioned, check your ego. And we are talking. You're now in a team with quote unquote the best point guard ever. With Curry. But we'll see what happens with the dynamic there. My last question to you, bro, is Draymond still a top 10 defender in the league right now? Would you have a Draymond in your top 10 defenders right now?
He's definitely top 5 or 10.
Top 5. Wow.
I mean, one thing about Draymond Green, like him or not, I mean, listen, he showed. Listen, his presence, his impact is shown on the Warriors when he's now on that floor. I mean, like I said, hey, he's not. Is he perfect? The things I question, but when it comes to basketball and what he brings to the table, hey, he does what he does for a reason. So.
Yeah, sometimes he get mixed, with the antics and shit, but he's a very smart player, but he's the anchor of that defense.
Right.
Cool, man. I don't want to take advantage of your time, man. So once again, shout out to everybody who was in the chat for leaving us comments. Shout out to Herm for jumping here too. But shout out to True the King, Brent. Shout out to you, bro. Go check his channel, True the King TV. One thing I also like that you go live for like hours and hours. I also like to do that. I saw one of your streams was like 9 hours.
Yeah, hey man, we be getting to it, man. Listen,
cooking.
Hey.
So shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. You do a great content. So hopefully we can have you in the near future when the season starts, so we can talk more about different things and shit. So once again, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. This was another episode of the MOP podcast, the Mario Operandi podcast. I'm your host, Mario. Today I'm here with True the King. So this was it. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this content. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video, man. Once again, thanks for True the King for coming here. And we are out, man. Salud,
Thank
salud,
you,
brother.
thank you.
Salud, brother.
Y'all.
I appreciate you, bro. Salud, salud, man. Salud, salud, brother. I appreciate you, bro. So this was it. This was the end. Until next time, we out. Peace, peace. Shout out to everybody, man.
Peace.